It's a beautiful world. Dang, that was loud. All right, what's up? What's up? What's up, you bold beauty boss? This is your boy Wick. Wick, 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 shut up. Okay, so one of the reasons why I do these interviews time and time again is I am fortunate to be in a position where I meet a lot of successful entrepreneurs, estheticians, people that have reached a certain level and where they are willing to share their story, their successes, their failures, the ups, the downs, the poops, the rainbows, and everything in between. So I want to introduce Rachel Lozina. Rachel, thank you so much. First of all, again, for everybody, your boy Wick effed up. I was supposed to interview Rachel earlier today, but because my brain is my brain, I forgot that there's a time difference between California and New York. So, Rachel, again, thank you so much for being patient with me. I
My
appreciate you.
pleasure. My pleasure. I'm here.
Cool.
So,
So Rachel, just to give people an idea of, and we're gonna get into where you started, but give people a lowdown on who you are, where you are right now with your businesses, so
mhm.
we can kind of give an idea of people where you are, and then we'll go backwards and kind of show that roadmap of how you got there.
Okay. So I have a spa in Oyster Bay, which is on Long Island. We're about 23 miles outside of Manhattan. Um, so we're in the suburbs. I have a really big spa now, but I started out small. I have 13 treatment rooms. I have about a staff of 17.
Wow.
Um, and I've been in business for 15 years. I'm in the process of opening up a second location in Southampton, so the Hamptons. And we are building that out right now, and I'll have 5 treatment rooms there. And then the plan after that's a runaway success, is to open up in Palm Beach, Florida. So I want to have at least minimum 3 going. And we do a tremendous amount of volume in facials, I will say. Predominantly, we do facials and body sculpting, a lot of body sculpting. We're doing in the upwards of 300 plus facials a month, which is a lot comparative to a lot of other places. I feel like we have the market share in my area. And we don't do a tremendous amount of we have massage therapists. I have 2 massage therapists, but we don't do a tremendous amount of massage. There's not a lot of money in massage. So you can really make a lot of money doing facials, and you can really make a lot of money doing body treatments. So that's where I'm at now.
And just to give people the info, Rachel, are you doing 6 figures, 7 figures? Where are you?
Personally, or like how much money am I making, like generating gross a month?
Sales, and just speaking in sales in terms of your
Okay.
business.
Sales, monthly sales, we get in the upwards of $200,000 a month. Right now, when it's low season, we're 150, 160, and that's when I start sweating. And I know that's a tremendous amount of money, but my overhead's extremely high. I have a humongous, 6,000 square foot building. So yeah, I know that $160,000 sounds awesome, and it is, but I need to be making $200,000 a month in order to really start saving some money and really profit well for all the work, right?
Mhm. You know what? 150 grand a month, 200,000 a month. To a lot of people, that just sounds like
Crazy. I
it's
know.
impossible. Like some
No.
people can't even fathom that. And one idea that I truly live by that has helped me in my life is that anything one person can do, anyone can do.
Of course.
Right? So if Rachel can do this, you who are watching this, if you, according to the best statistics I found, the average esthetician does about 35,000 in terms of how much they make a year. A year. So that's about 3,000 a month. So to the average esthetician, some numbers like these can sound outlandish, but let me tell you, turn your brain off, turn off that I can't do it, because freaking let me tell you this shit. If Rachel can do some numbers like that and she is growing, her business is growing, so the freak can you. So Rachel, let's get into it. How did you even get into aesthetics? How did Did you want to become an esthetician? You know, when you were younger, what did you want to do? Then how did you land in the beauty business?
So I've always wanted to do this kind of work. I always kind of, put this on the shelf of like, this is a dream job. How cool would this be if I could do this for a living? And I was living in Colorado at the time, and I had broken up with my boyfriend, and I was like, what am I going to do with my life? I always worked in restaurants and service industry. I think that's really important, is always working in the service industry and having that, how can I help you? What can we do for you? It's my pleasure. Absolutely, right away attitude, right?
Mhm.
So service is so important to me in my business, and I ingrain that so much in all of my employees. But I started out going to aesthetic school, and I was, we're talking about 2003. And I went to aesthetic school. I graduated in 2003. And I've been an esthetician. I moved back to New York. I worked for a lady. I was always a worker, so I always wanted to work. So I worked 2 days a week at one plastic surgeon's office, 2 days a week at another plastic surgeon's office, and then 2 days a week at a spa. And just because I was always and I still had the attitude of like, what's new? What can I bring on? How can I make things better?
Yeah.
And I think that I see a lot of like consulting in the future for me, because I look at everything and I'm like, they could do that better. They can put a bolster underneath the knees. They can put some cushioning. A nice heated blanket would work exceptional right now. So my mind's always thinking, how can I make something even more exceptional? So I think that that's really where that all comes from, is like improving, getting better. But I started out in 2008. I opened up my business right in September of 2008, right? So do we remember what happened in 2008? The stock market crashed and the housing market
Great, perfect time to start a business.
So, and I'm, 23 miles outside of Manhattan. So all of my clients' husbands are like, oh my God, my husband lost his job. We have no money. So, clients that I had been seeing for a long time ended up not coming back, and I was really flipping out. But I have to say, starting out low and grinding and growing, and the tick 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 up of the roller coaster was really important for me at that time. I feel like if I had been grinding and making a bunch of money and then I had a slump, it would have been worse. So I'll take it.
And to cut in real quick, back then when you first started, social media wasn't around as much, or Fallout. I don't even remember, right? How whatever long ago. So in the beginning, when you looked at when you started your business, how did you even get clients? Like, how did that even happen? What was that process like?
So I bought a mailing list. And I sent out ginormous cards.
Mhm.
Very beautiful. I really wanted to make it compelling. And, even then I was thinking about what's the hook, right? So I remember I offered free skin mapping, whatever the fuck that means, right? Oh, sorry. Can we curse on here?
No,
Sorry.
please. You're all good.
Sorry. Skin mapping, right? And I wanted like, skin mapping could mean anything. It could just be a fancy word for a skin analysis. But I said free skin mapping, custom skincare, blah, 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 this location, phone number. And, the hook was skin mapping. What's skin mapping? Ooh, what's skin mapping? That sounds interesting,
Sounds
right?
exotic. Ooh.
Right. So, so we got a lot of calls that way. And I had already had a clientele sort of. So it just started from there. And I had a second floor building, and I had to rent all the treatment rooms on the floor. So it was 5 rooms and then a little tiny waiting area. And I only outfitted 2 rooms to start. And that was really a lot of money for me. I remember it was $1,800 just to turn the electricity on, and I needed to have a cashier's check for that. So, this was like when everything was like non-digital. You couldn't go online to get, the electric or any of that. It was a lot of work. But 2008, I was able to figure everything out. I got like a website from, Vistaprint, I think, just really, really, really basic level stuff, and grew from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then continue. So you started that,
Right.
and how did you maintain your clients? So you got people from the mailing list, people called. Was it in the beginning? Was it just you yourself? Did you hire staff right in the beginning? Were you the one
No.
answering all the calls?
No, I had somebody answer the phones because I knew that was going to be important to give the experience of the check-in and the check-out, and to make it, sometimes, and this is no disrespect to solo workers, it, you know, I'm the worker, I do the treatment, now go pay, right? From somebody else. It creates, I think, more of a little experience. So I always had somebody answering the phones because you can't do it all. And you're never going to be able to grow to the rate you want to grow if you're doing it all. Yeah. So I always realized the importance of having somebody at the front desk for answering the phones, booking appointments, checking in, checking out, and having, important booking software. At the time, I had a booking software called Milano, which was not online, and it was like hardwired software. It was a long time ago. And then I did the services. Now, one of the things that I think is really, really important is, adding the making everything exceptional. Like I said before, I went out of my way to do a lot of things because I really wanted to separate myself. So I did a foot massage. I don't want to do a foot massage, but I did a foot massage while the mask was on. Three things that cost no money, but makes the experience more robust, makes the client say, wow, you know what? I went and I got a facial with Rachel and it was great. And, she did this like foot massage on me. And she also did this hand thing. The place I go to, or I have been going to, they don't do that. And this was just such a nice experience. I made sure the beds were really cushy and having heaters. I invested in nice beds that contoured with the knees up, with the bolsters. Like I really went out of my way to make everything feel really good. And I also did a lot of massage treatments. Like I said, hands, feet. I put the hands in little heated mitts. Keep in mind, I don't do any of that shit anymore, but I did in the beginning just to get the clients coming back with those little extras. They do it over here, but I don't get it done there. It's like when you go to the nail salon and they put your hand in the paraffin, you're like, it's nice. It's a nice little add-on. It's adding value without adding a lot of cost. That's what I did.
Yeah. And you know what? I cannot emphasize that enough. I heard a quote the other day that really resonated with me. They go, a lot of businesses are not doing as good as they should or could be because they're just not good. Right. And I hate to say that in the beauty business, but to most businesses, a lot of folks that I talk to or I've worked with, they're just not that good. So if you're listening to me saying this and it's hurting your heart or you disagree, here, this isn't meant for me to be mean or something of that sort, but kind of like exactly what Rachel mentioned is if I don't see or hear about too many estheticians going above and beyond to making the experience just this out of this world memorable, oh my god, blew me away. Because if that was the case, a lot of businesses would do better because of just word of mouth. Exactly what you said. It's like, hey, oh my gosh, I went to Rachel and she gave me this funky thing with my feet. I don't know what it was, but it felt great. Right. So do those things like that really make a difference? And the fact, and everyone listening to this, please listen to the part that Rachel said, I did not want to do this. I did not enjoy doing this, but I did it.
But I don't have to do it anymore, which is really the key thing, right? So I don't do it anymore, but I had to. And it's, from the second they walk in, when I have my team meetings with my girls, I'm like, guys, that scene, and this is like kind of aging me, but that scene in Annie where, the butler comes out when she walks into Daddy Warbucks' house and then and the housekeeper's like, my name is Annette, I'll be your guide, da da da, we hope you're gonna.
I didn't know this was gonna be a musical. Plus, you have a great singing voice, so please, yes.
So anyway, I want that experience. I want the person to come in and we're like, oh my gosh, literally, I say to my girls, is this your first time here? Get excited. This is going to be we're so excited to work on you. Let me show you around. And I make them give tours. Nice. Now, when I didn't have a spa or a big area to showcase, it kind of seems stupid, but It makes the client feel like they're a part of something. First of all, welcome. We are so excited to have you here. Can I get you a cup of tea or water? Do you need to use the ladies' room? We have coffee, we have snacks. You hungry? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So you're on the second floor for your appointment, but I wanted to show you around because this is your first time here. So we want to familiarize you with where you are and what you're going to be a part of now. And we show them the whole spa. The bathroom's over here. You can get snacks over here. Obviously, retail, all of our stuff is over here. We have 4 treatment rooms on the first floor. Let's go up to the second floor where you're going to be. So up here on the second floor, we have this quiet waiting room. We have 5 treatment rooms down here. There's a ladies' room up here. And then, even though you don't have an appointment on the third floor, let's go up. I want to show you upstairs. So I make them bring them upstairs. So now they're like, oh my God, I didn't know you did massage. I didn't know you did laser hair removal. Wow, you do Reiki. Wow, you have somebody that does acupuncture. Boom, 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 boom. Now, not only are you showing them your menu, you're showing them the entire spa. And they're like, oh my God, like I feel so special, right? So you're making them feel a part of something, even if you're just showing them around like, okay, so this is my room here, but we also have other rooms down. So if you ever want to come in girlfriends, we can all work on you together at the same time. It's just a little bit of an effort, but it really makes them feel, and especially, and this is always my biggest thing, customer service sucks so bad in everywhere you go. So it's so easy to wow people with really good customer service. Really,
And,
that's it. That's
and
it.
the part that blew me away, just so Rachel. First of all, you just have this amazing energy. What's up? What's up with you and your energy? Like I just get a good vibe from you, and so much of it, y'all. As you listen to this, freaking put on your mental track shoes because we're gonna take you for a journey here right now. It's these small things that if you consistently do to make a client feel just like you're happy to see them. So when a client comes in and Rachel says, "I am so excited to see you." See, she didn't say, "Hey, guy, hey, your appointment's at 5. Okay, come on in. There's the beds right there. Go ahead and change." Da da da. Hey, I am so excited to see you. It's not. It's just saying the words, but Rachel, the way you say it. So a lot of people, you might have heard those statistics that communication is 20% verbal, 80% nonverbal. The way you said it, it's like I felt special. Like, oh my God, you're excited to see me, right? So the way you just said that right in the beginning almost set a tone for me, saying, "Man, you're ooh, thank you," right?
So when you reach out and you shake their hand, grab both of their hands. I'm Rachel. I am super excited to work on you. This is your first time here. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. I love working on first time clients because you're just going to love everything that's happening here. And then you go over everything. Did they show you around the spa? Okay, awesome. And they asked you if you wanted tea or water. Okay, perfect. And you don't need to use the ladies' room because I'm going to bring you right in. No, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, come with me. So this is my room. So this is what I
Dude, I
want
just want to
to know.
like give you my hand. I'm ready to go on. I'm just like how you say it. It's you make them feel welcome. Like I feel welcomed.
Right. And that's really the whole thing because now you've set the tone and they're relaxed and they're happy and they're like, they haven't even gotten a treatment yet. And they're like, oh my God, this place is great. And you could have a little tiny 2-room spa and still have that same kind of energy, and it doesn't have to be the big place. It just has to be what you're willing to bring, how much you're willing to put yourself out there. And also like, it doesn't cost anything to be like that either.
No, and a lot of this stuff, I believe it's a transfer of energy. So for example, for the client to be excited, I must be excited, right? If I want the client to like again, a lot of the estheticians that are going to be watching this are renting out like one room, right? Or they have
Right.
just one room. You can go around and go, "Hey, let me show you some of these products. These are some of the products that we're going to be using today. This you are gonna love this cleanser. Let me tell you. Here, smell this real quick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't. You don't
100%.
have to have a huge suite, but
Right.
it's being exciting. It's just basically telling them, I'm so happy and excited to work on you. I'm glad you came in today. This is gonna be a blast.
Right. And another thing that I always tell my girls, and this kind of goes against the grain of aesthetics and spa and all that stuff, but fucking chew their ear off the whole time. Make them fall in love with you. You know, you can give them a silent facial and have great hands and they can think you're great and everything, but it's the emotional connection that you make with the clients that's going to keep them coming back. And you have great hands, but 90% of the clients that come and see me regularly, they come because they love me. And yeah, I do good work, but they like, it's like their time with me. And everybody wants connection. That's what the whole world is about. We all just want to connect and to feel seen and heard and loved. Oh, and you're going to make my skin look good? Awesome. You know, but that's really what it comes down to. I said, no battles were won in silence, you know, just win them over with your personality, talk the ear off, get to know about them, let them know about you. And, you know, if they want a silent facial, fine. But trust me, they don't. Everyone wants to connect. It's like therapy, right? And I know 90% of the estheticians out there chew their clients' ear off and it's always fun and they're giggling the whole time because that's how you win. You know, that's how it all works.
No, 100%, right? It's creating that bond. And the funny part, y'all that are watching this, is Rachel didn't even start talking about the treatment. This is just pre. So the way you set up these expectations and you get them excited to be there, right? It's like, oh my God, it's like, oh wow, this, and like you said, Rachel, it's like you haven't even started on the treatment yet. It's just getting them excited, letting them know you're happy to see them, showing them around, making them feel comfortable. Because the more a client is invested in you and they're familiar with your business, to me, I believe that increases the probability of them, you know, one, sticking around longer, two, sending you referrals because they're comfortable. And at that point, they're almost like your billboards. It's like, you know, if they bring in a friend, oh, come here, let me show you. They're almost doing your job for you.
Right. And then a lot of women want to be the person that's, I got a place for you. Oh my God. Right. You know, so a lot of clients, they want to be the gal that's like, oh my God, I know exactly where you need to go to get shoes for that wedding. I know exactly where you need to get your hair done. And I know exactly where you need to get your facials. And it's, yeah, you do good service, but they do it because you know that they're going to be taken care of. You know that the place is nice. You know that their service is good. And, you know, it doesn't matter what you charge because everything's so expensive these days. I feel like everyone's undercharging too for services. That's another thing. Everyone needs to raise their prices big time and stop fucking discounting. Stop discounting your services. When you keep discounting all of your services, you're telling the client, I'll do anything for a discount. Instead, discount for things that propel your business, like reviews or referrals or things like that, you know. I mean, of course, I do discounts every once in a while to fill time because let's be honest, you sell time, right? You're not selling an experience, you sell time. When I always say that, like, the time we sell is like theater tickets. Once the show's over, you can never make that money back. So you're trying to fill time. Sometimes that looks like calling people on the schedule and saying, hey, are you available to come earlier this week so you have more time at the end of your week for clients, you know, that want to come last minute? I know, just things I'm thinking of off the cuff of, you know, I don't know.
And so, what do you charge? Like, what's your average ticket
For
sales?
me or for the spa?
Huh?
For me or
For you,
for the spa?
like the spa, like the average facial or the average. What do you think your average sale is?
Probably around 250.
Cool.
Our facials start at 140. But I tell the girls that work for me, I said, if I see $140 tickets on the thing, you guys aren't doing your job. You know, that's the basic facial is 140. And it goes up from there. My facials are 350 or 425, depends. But some of the girls that work for me, they're upgrading, they're upselling, they're upcharging, they're doing 250, 300, 325. They're getting big sales just by, oh, you want to add a dermaplane? Oh, you want to add this, you want to add that. And it works. You know, people are spending a lot of money on skin. It's definitely a different business than it was 20 years ago, 150 billion%.
So a lot of estheticians are struggling in the industry. Like I mentioned, that 35,000 a year. You know, it's stressful work. It can be this, that. Why do you feel, based on your experience, and you've been in the industry for long enough, a lot of estheticians are not where they could or they should be in the beauty industry?
Um, it's a really tough thing because I feel like when you work for somebody right off of school, as you should always work for somebody else and get that experience underneath them. I feel like a lot of the leadership that's happening right now, a lot of the team leaders, the spa leaders, maybe the ladies that manage spas, a lot of them aren't estheticians. A lot of them are just managers, and they don't really understand the business, and they don't understand where, like, I think a lot of the reasons why I've done well is because I'm an esthetician, but I'm also captaining the ship. And I'm not sure that all of the people that are owner operators, they're either owner operators and they're governing their own ship, or I don't know how many of them are managers, but I feel like a lot of, like, you know, your resort spas or your Hand and Stones or your Massage Envies and stuff. A lot of these girls that are managers don't understand the business at all. They just understand what management looks like. It's like kind of like a shitty, you know, restaurant manager. It's like, what do they know about carrying drinks to a table? Nothing. You know, so it's really hard to get into the idea of why, but I do feel like you need to find somebody that's really passionate and try to learn underneath them, and to constantly grow yourself, you know, constantly take online classes. I'm going to learn about, you know, microcurrent treatments. I'm going to learn about, you know, myofascial release. I'm going to learn about, you know, buccal treatments, you know, continuously expanding, because the person that you work for is not going to keep telling you to go to these classes or to learn. And some girls go into aesthetic school and they're like, I'm just going to do this because that's how I was taught, you know. And you need to like, obviously the passion, you need to have the passion, right? If you don't have the passion in anything, you're never going to get there, right? And the drive, it's the passion and the drive, and the two of them are just going to propel you forward, you know. Constantly wanting to do better, getting out of the fear of doing upgrades. A lot of people are afraid to sell upgrades or sell product, you know. I feel like anybody can make a tremendous amount of money if they focus on those two things. Upgrading, because if you're getting commission, you just bumped up your tip, right? And you bumped up your commission. And if you are selling products, and you're bumping up your commission as well. So, you know, retail sales and service sales are so important and integral. You know, if you're just going to do a signature treatment on the same person for $100, you know, you're not going to really get anywhere. So I don't.
Why are they afraid? Like what do you feel is the reason that a lot of these upgrades aren't being done? Because I did a poll a while ago, and the estheticians, I think on the average, do maybe about $500 in product sales a month, right? So about 500 a month in terms of product sales. What's up with that?
That's not enough. That's not enough at all. You know, I always say that if you're going to be an esthetician, you're going to sell products. It's like being a personal trainer and having diet and exercise, right? You can't do one without the other. And this is when you're chewing their fucking ear off the whole time. You're talking about what they're missing in their routine. And when you develop a relationship with them and you tell them what they're missing, you're not selling them, you're educating them, right? So it's not necessarily about sales, but it's like, well, of course you're not seeing the results because you're not using a topical vitamin C. So we got to get you on a vitamin C, you know? Also, I think that women in general are afraid of stepping into their power. And we're told to be quiet and meek and mild and to make people happy. And they sometimes, a little controversial, but I feel like women are afraid to stand up for themselves and really tell them what they need to do or what they want to do because they're afraid of being disliked. And this kind of comes to my other thing of, you know, one of the biggest and most empowering things you can do is empower yourself and better yourself. So, you know, you can be the greatest esthetician in the world, but if you don't have the inner love for yourself, you're never going to be able to give it to elsewhere. So, you know, you have to manifest exactly what you want. You have to work on what your drive is, your dreams are. You know, I tell my girls, I'm like, write it down. What do you want in your life? Where do you want to be in a year, or 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? What do you want in your life? Like, really, you know, because if, again, unpopular, but if in 5 years you're going to end up getting married, having kids, and quitting the industry, what are we doing here? You know, I mean, I always worked. I have 3 kids. I worked throughout all of my kids. I opened up my spa with a 2-year-old, and then I had a baby a year later, and I just kept working and I figured it out. And I made no money, right? But I used all of that money to pay for that kid so I can move forward, right? But I think a lot of women need to step in their power and not be afraid of telling the client, like, listen, honey, I love you and I love working on you, but you got to up your home care. What are you doing? You're not investing in home care, but you're coming here and you're spending, $200 every month on a facial, but you're using CeraVe at home. What are you doing? Okay, we got to figure this out. And this kind of goes back to my other thing of I'm going to jump into is having a game plan. Every single person that comes into on my table, I'm like, all right, what's going on? Talk to me. And they give me their whole spiel. And then I'm like, okay, well, this is what I recommend for the next 3 months. Okay. Because if somebody was like, Wick, you want to lose 20 pounds, eat exactly this. You'd be like, all right, I'll do that. So you tell people exactly what they need to do. You write it out for them. You have it written down. All right, I know you're not ready to buy this product, but I'm going to put this here and I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put these on the table. So you're just going to go home with this right now. But I want you to consider getting these sunglasses, this whatever, this overnight mask, So you plant the seed in their head and you tell them what they should be doing, even if they're not ready to do it.
You know what I think is extremely beneficial, for the client, for an esthetician's business, but also I just think is sexy as fuck is honesty. And a lot of times, if an esthetician is struggling or a business owner is struggling, sometimes I feel I can tell when someone is thirsty or when someone is desperate or someone's trying to make a sale. But when someone is just flat out honest and saying, here, let me tell you this, it's exactly what you mentioned. Hey, it sounds like you're not ready for this, or hey, this might be a little bit down the future because it is a little bit costly. But we're gonna start with this. But I want you to do this. This is what you need. You've been doing this for 4 years. These are the results that you have. Will doing what you've been doing for another 4 years help you? No. Here, this is what you need. And just being honest. I truly believe that when you're just honest and you're coming from a place of goodness, and sometimes it's not recommending the more higher price thing. It's like, okay, at some point I want you on this, but for right now, this is a place to start because I want you to start seeing your own wins and your own success. So we can build from that.
And here's the kicker too. All of these fucking women are buying shit. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're not buying things, right? They're buying things. They're just not buying them from you. So give them a reason to buy from you. I went to Sephora and I bought Drunk Elephant because some girl on TikTok told me to buy it. What? Like, that's not, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your money. And I've gotten to a point in my career where I'm not selling you anymore. I'm telling you and I'm educating. And if you don't want to follow my home care and you want to buy from some girl on the internet, this isn't going to work out because I can't guarantee you results. I don't know what you're doing. You're coming to me, your face is peeling off because you're over exfoliating it. Like, obviously you don't trust in me. This might not be the best fit for you.
Yeah. And see that honesty, do not be afraid of writing off a client. And just it's to me, a lot of the times business is like dating. If I'm talking to a girl and I go, you know what, I'm probably not the one for you. She's gonna want me more for some reason. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, hey, this is what you're about. This is what I'm about. We're not aligning. So if that's the case, let's just save each other's time right now. And then a lot of the times people will just respect you for that honesty. And they're like, well, yeah, so if they're getting advice from freaking TikTok, which so many are, it's like, a lot of the time this business should be shooting fish in a barrel because TikTok is your competition, the ignorance of whatever. But if you just say, hey, you know what, this is probably not going to be a good fit because this is going to go with my process. And Rachel, one thing I like, and just listen. Rachel's just talking and she's just being Rachel, but listen to the gems she's dropping. So one of the things she said is that she lays him down and talks to him, what's going on? Okay, here, this is our game plan for the next 3 months. She didn't say, okay, hey, this is going to be this facial, and now we want to book you for your next facial and do it facial per facial. No, hey, this is going to be the game plan for the next 3 months. Let's put this together because you want these results, right? Perfect. They're not going to happen overnight, but this is a plan. You're going to see the results. You're going to love the way you look.
Right.
And the way you say it, Rachel, you just drop it very nonchalantly. But at the end of the day, again, you're being honest. You're saying this is a plan. It's a process. I'm with you the whole time. Let's do this together.
Right. And inherently everybody wants to be told what to do, right?
Yeah.
If somebody was like, hey,
Especially women. I don't say that, but
no,
yes.
but I mean, like, if they were like, you want to grow your sales in 3 months, do these 10 things, right? You want to lose weight, do these 5 things. You want to, have better behaved children, use these 5 practices. I will walk with you the entire way. You're like, yes, tell me what to do. Tell me what to
Yeah,
do.
give me the plan. Tell
Right.
me what you recommend, because obviously what they've done by themselves, their
Work.
mishmash of things,
Right.
and probably almost all of them have a drawer full of shit of products that they're just using. So Rachel, in your business, obviously in the beginning, we go through these struggles, this, that. What were some of the issues that you ran into as you're building your business?
I feel like always the biggest and the most difficult thing is staffing and finding your voice as a leader. You're never going to be able to get to doing the volume that I'm doing if you don't have people below you. Mm-hmm. Unless you want to work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And even that, I don't know if you could do it. Unless you're superb at retail sales and you have a very strong online presence and you're selling the shit out of everything online, you're never going to be able to get there. But this young generation, they're pretty savvy with computers and they're pretty savvy with the TikTok and whatnot. You can do it. If you put yourself out there and you just keep pushing content and you create all of that, you can do it. But I think one of the biggest and the most difficult aspects of, getting to where I have gotten is finding your voice as a leader, being very, very, very honest with what you're looking for. I can tell almost right away if things are going to work out or not. So people really need to be told what to do. And, the relentless communication of what you need them to do. Hey, I need you to do this. Hey, I need you to do that. Every day, I feel like all I do is just tell people to do things, and kind of sucks, but, people need to be told to do things. So telling people what to do. A lot of women are afraid of making other people feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So it makes it very difficult for us to be strong leaders until we find our voice, until we find, the comfortability of like, holy shit, this is my business and you're dicking around on my time. Sorry. You need to not do that anymore. Or I saw that you gave so-and-so a facial on working time, and that's fine, but the rules. You're supposed to be videoing it. You're supposed to be doing content creation. If you're going to do that, what are you doing? Lots of rules, and you don't learn these mistakes. Like I said to you before, you don't learn these mistakes until you make them, right? And then once you make them, then you have to put that into your employee manual or into your, Bible of rules and regs of what you want, So staffing, dealing with your employees is very difficult. And now it's a whole different echelon with Instagram and TikTok and girls that are building their businesses within your business. That is a whole different world of growing their businesses within your business, and what's legit, what's not legit. That's very difficult now. And that's only something in the past 5 years, So I would say those things. I don't know. I could probably think a million or more.
No, so how did you find your voice? Because I believe I believe that is very, very important. And I think one of the reasons why a lot of estheticians are not just being a little bit more direct and hard and like you mentioned, telling people what to do. Because one of two things is gonna happen. You're gonna sell them on what they should do, or they're gonna sell you on why that's not the right solution, right? So your conviction has to be stronger than theirs. Your belief has to be stronger than theirs, where they're like, oh my God, yes, I will do what you say. So how did you go about finding your voice?
Trial and error, I'd say. And also my voice for selling products and how to speak to clients. that didn't happen overnight. You know, I remember not being great at sales or just focusing on ingredients and education. And yes, you're educating them, but after a while, these clients go dead behind the eyes. They don't understand L-ascorbic acid and why it needs to be a pH of such and what the percentage is that make the one that you're trying to sell them better than the one they're trying to, they don't give a fuck about that, right? It comes down to developing the relationship with them. And I think that as a woman, we yearn to connect. So I don't think it's that difficult. But I think that when you're working with women, it's developing a conversation with them. And okay, well, you know, I know that you're using, you know, the SkinCeuticals C-ferulic acid. That's awesome. Well, you know what? When you run out of that, I want you to really consider purchasing one from me. And you could try it. Listen, if you don't like it, you can always return it. But, you know, I really think that you should switch it up. And let me tell you a little bit of something that happens with that. You know, if you keep using the same thing like shampoo, you know, you get this receptor site fatigue, I say. And, you know, you should really switch it up. You know, it's the same thing again and again and again. After a while, your body stops responding to it. Let's switch it up. You always have to switch it up. Oh, you're right. That's right. You know, it is right. When I change my shampoo, it does make a big difference in my hair. I'm like, see, it works, right?
Yeah.
So, you know,
Great
it's like
analogy.
yeah, it's like finding that and I'm really big on analogies because clients really understand analogies. They don't understand the skin science. They go dead behind the eyes. They don't care about the reason why. You know, they just make it palatable for them to understand why they should change it, you know. So I'm really big on analogies. Like I said, the diet and the, you know, working out. I'm your personal trainer. I'm going to kick your ass when you get in here. But if you're eating cheeseburgers at home and you're using drunk elephant stuff because some lady who's not a licensed esthetician that doesn't know your skin underneath the freaking magnifying lamp like I do is selling you stuff, then what are we doing? You're wasting my time. You're wasting your time. You know, that girl that was telling you about that TikTok, she's 17 years old and she's not an esthetician and she has no experience whatsoever. You know, I've heard dermatologists are telling them to wash their face with bar soap and then put Vaseline on their face. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can have the best advice or the worst advice, and it's like filtering it down to be like, you know what? This is why I'm here. I want you to consider me as your personal skincare concierge. Okay. Message me if you have a question about your home care. I always say this to them. Message me here, message me there, whatever. If you're looking at an ingredient, send it to me. Send me the back of the ingredient deck. I'll take a look at it. I'll tell you what I think, you know. And then they start trusting you of like, what do you think about this? My girlfriend's using this cream, or I'm like, oh, look at number 5. That's a very comedogenic ingredient. Don't use it. Oh, really? Now you've become the person they turn to when they want like on-call service. And it's not that hard for you to respond to them, right? You're responding to a million different friends that aren't even building your business, right? So
here, let me ask you, because one of the feedbacks that I've seen quite a bit within the aesthetics industry is, and you and I were talking about it earlier, is I feel a lot of estheticians underestimate the amount of work it takes to do well in this business. Meaning, it's not you're not roofing in Arizona on a hot August day here, but it is amount of consistent work. Some estheticians say, well, hey, I'm not going to do that. Or no, I keep it only within work hours. I'm not going to respond to messages. And they'll say, no, if you want to get a hold of me, only talk to me between 8 to 5 of this. And you can send me an email and I'll reply in like maybe 2 days or something of that sort. What is your philosophy on that?
I think that that's just so stupid. I'm sorry. It's really stupid. It's a really great way to lose customers and to lose trust. We live in a day and age where everybody wants the instant gratification, right? You can go take a survey online that tells you the 5 different skin types that you fall into, right? And there's somebody on TikTok that will respond to your, request for information, right? Like, hey, what cream is this? Or, hey, I saw you were using. Respond to your clients, figure out a way. We have this thing called Zip Whip, or Trulio, I think it's called, whatever. It's an online where they can text your landline, your work landline, right? So all the girls at work can reach out to their clients and they all have Zip Whip and they're not texting from their cell phone. They all have Zip Whip installed. It's changing. It's not going to be Zip Whip anymore. I think it's called Twilio. I can't remember, something like that. And so there's no reason why you can't, if it's 10 o'clock at night and a client's asking about a cleanser, sure, maybe you can, respond to it in the morning, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be giving your clients, a lot.
Especially if they're not where they should be in business. I mean, and that's one thing I just
100%.
I'm always kicking estheticians in the ovaries for right for that thing. I'm like, dude, if you are not where you want to be in business and your books are not filled, what are you doing with that downtime? My philosophy is when you are not where you want to be, you are always working. You're either working on clients or you're working on getting clients. That
Right,
downtime is work time.
right,
Reach out, DM other people, do this, follow up with clients, try to get another review, something of
right,
that sort.
right.
Because the amount of work that it's required is insane.
My client just told me the other day that she chose an orthodontist for her kids based on the fact that the lady responds to text messages.
Yeah.
Now, I know that me as an esthetician, I'm like, hey, you got to text me. I can't pick up the phone in the middle of the treatment room, but I can respond to a text message, right? So think about that. As an esthetician, you can't pick up the phone, but you can respond to a text. So think about everybody else in the world that's, my husband's sleeping. I can't make a phone call right now. Or, I'm in a meeting, I'm in an office meeting, or I'm in a parent teacher conference and I'm bored to tears and, blah, blah, blah. And I could text you. Texting is absolutely 100%. You have to be able to do it. You need to be able to field any questions your clients have, because that's part of the customer service of making the client feel seen, heard, loved, adored, and important. They need to feel important. That's paramount.
And it's not forever, right, Rachel? It's like what you mentioned, like in the beginning, you do this work, and after you reach a certain level, you can pawn that off to somebody else. You can hire somebody else to do that. But in the beginning, to anybody that's watching this, you know, I'm telling you, the amount of work and effort it takes to just do well in any industry, especially aesthetics, yeah, it is work. You
Yes.
do the things you don't want to be able to live the life that others will not be able to live.
Right.
And in the beginning, it is putting in the time, it is answering calls, doing the text, following up with this, putting that in. And if you ask yourself, if I want to get muscles, right? If I want to get swole, but I don't want to go to the gym, right? It's like, okay, well then should I be disappointed that I don't have the body that I want? If for the estheticians that aren't willing to put in the work, and someone like yourself did put in the work, should that person have the same success that you do, right? And to me, that's where a lot of the disconnect is someone saying, well, I posted on social media and I don't know why my people aren't responding, what do I do? It's like, do more.
Passion, and the work ethic. That's really the two drivers in this industry. And you have to be relentlessly always getting better, always working
Yeah.
harder, always getting new clients in the door. Like right now, we're seeing about 150 new clients every single month.
God darn.
But our retention rate is about 30%. Now, trying to increase that retention rate is very, very difficult. Why didn't they come back? Why didn't they love us? What did we do wrong? And the thing is that 90% of the time you probably didn't do anything wrong. You probably were great, but maybe it was a one-time thing. Maybe the client doesn't get facials regularly. Maybe the client doesn't have the money in the budget for that. Maybe it's something they want to do. Like I always tell the girls that work with me, I'm like, think about the last time you did something really awesome for yourself. And you're like, damn, I should really do that again. And you just don't, why didn't you do it again? I don't know. Is that a train?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What is that?
My landscape guy, he's
I was like, is that a train?
landscape.
But I always say, think about the things that you want. You're not going to win them all. And I always have this analogy in my head of it's like a rake, right? You're going to rake a certain amount of customers, and some of the leaves are going to fall through the rake, and you're not going to acquire them. And some of them you are. And it could be the most unpretentious client that comes in that ends up spending the most amount of money that you would never know, So treat everybody with the same level of respect and love and attention, and have the game plan for every single person that comes in. I see you got brown spots. This is what I'm going to recommend. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. Your home care should look like this, 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 this. They want to be told what to do. They want to have a game plan. Everybody wants to look good. And body sculpting, for everyone that's like listening, body sculpting is so huge. I mean, when I got in 2017, we got a handheld cryo. You know, everyone does handheld cryo, right? We got a handheld cryo in 2017. And I felt like my entire life I was mining for like copper, and now I was mining for gold. Because now your clients are dropping $1,500, $2,000 on packages, dropping money, no problem. Everybody, and I mean everybody, wants to improve their body. I don't care what you look like. You could be a fucking bikini model, which I've had on my table. And they're like, but everybody wants to work on their body. So there's so much money in body sculpting, so much money. So think about that too, to boost your sales. Because when you do body sculpting, they're coming in regularly for it. And everybody wants to improve their body. They're doing it someplace else. So think about body sculpting, because that's huge too.
Yeah, and one of the things with now you mentioned body sculpting. One thing I like about body sculpting is people can instantly see the result. You take a picture of them before you do the body sculpting, an hour later you do an after picture. They will see. They're like, "Oh my god!"
Right.
Right.
So I last September, and my sales are slow this year because I'm comparing them to last year. Okay. So last year we got this machine called Icon. Okay. And it's an Italian, it's kind of like endermology, but it's an Italian made machine, and it sucks and it rolls and it breaks up fat, breaks up fascia, and it breaks up cellulite. And it feels fantastic. Right. So I got this machine in September. From September 1st to September 30th, I paid off the machine. It was a $70,000 machine. And I just worked the machine. I was doing 7 treatments a day on clients. I literally called every single one of my clients, or I texted them. I was like, my text message looked like this. Holy shit, do I have a machine for you? I just got this Italian masterpiece straight from Italy. It will reduce cellulite, bullet point. It will reduce your circumferential fat, bullet point. I would love to show it to you. Let me know when you're available. And it was like, everyone's like, yes. When are you free? I would show them the treatment for 10 minutes, show them the machine. And then I would like, do you want to keep going? Because I could do the treatment for an hour right now. It's $350 for the treatment, or it's 5 sessions for $1,500. They were like, let's do this 5 sessions. This feels amazing.
Yep.
Paid off the entire machine in 1 month. And then the next month I was like, shit, I need to buy another machine. And I bought another machine, and I paid that machine off in $70,000 in another month. So I made $150,000 plus in 2 months just with that machine. So it sucks because my sales are lower because I was so kicking ass last year, this time of year, but I was also had no time to work. I mean, I was crazy. I was working so much, and I felt like I had to do it all because I wanted to get clients excited, because I had the ability to get clients excited. Oh my God, guys, you are going to love this machine. I cannot wait to show it to you. Like that kind of energy. That's what it takes.
But it comes from you. Like I'm juiced right now, right? It's like so y'all watching. Let me do the play-by-play back real quick. 1, Rachel is excited. She believes in this. If you do not believe, come on, landscaper guy. If you do not believe yourself, if you do not have the enthusiasm, you're already behind the 8 ball.
You
right?
gotta bring it. You gotta bring it, you guys. Big time.
You got to bring the energy, the excitement, and you got to believe, because they will feel this. Like especially women, they got like the radar, like bullshit. Dang, she's so excited. It must be good.
Right.
She's so convicted.
Right.
So convinced it must be good. Second thing Rachel did here, it's called freaking sales. She hit up her existing clients. Hey, you will not believe this. Holy shit. I got the thing for you. Right? And she hit them up with her excitement, with this, with some bullet points. It's going to do this for you, and this for you, and this for you. And when you put those things together, you cannot help but transfer that over, and a certain percentage of those people are going to be like, dude, sign me up. If you are this juiced, shit,
Right.
It must be legit.
Right. Like clients that were like, yeah, let's get 5 sessions in without even trying it. just because
5
of the
sessions,
relationship.
$1,500 packages, right?
Yeah.
So if instead of, you know what, it takes the same almost energy to sell a $300 service as it does a 1,500. So if you have the option between the two, go, yeah, it's 300, but do it 350, or dude, just get 5 right now. You're gonna love how you look.
Right.
You're gonna love how you look.
Also, I remember very specifically, another machine I did that with was I bought a microcurrent machine. I bought a microcurrent machine from a woman named Pam Huck, and she runs a company called Medestetics, Medestetics, I think it was. And I bought a Serenity microcurrent machine where you have the gloves and you tone and you lift the face with the gloves, right? And this is like 2014. This is a long time ago. 2014, and I did so much sales. I remember I didn't have the money to buy the $3,000 machine, okay? But she offered PayPal payments, right? And so I put it on PayPal. This is like, not too long ago, I was pretty poor, like it all happens all at once, always, but I put it on PayPal payments because I didn't want to put it on a credit card. And I just, I paid $500 a month for like 6 months or whatever to pay it off. And the amount of money that I generated from that machine, it led to buying another machine, and it led to, and then we had this the packages, guys. Packages are what's going to bring the money because it keeps the consistency of them coming back in. Yep. So it was a microcurrent package. A 10-pack of microcurrent packages. I forget how much we sold it for, 1,000 plus, whatever. And, I just churned that out, and the emails, and you guys have, Instagram. We didn't have that, so the Instagram, I got Instagram in, I think 5 years ago. I was like really late to the game with Instagram, like really late to the game. But Facebook, I remember like all of my advertisements, you can so easily just do all of everything with your cell phone now. Edit it, put cool music over it. Ooh, what's that? You can boost it for $5, see if it works. Boost an advertisement, of a video of you doing the service. So easy.
There's zero excuse when you got a fucking computer. This thing isn't a phone; it's a weapon. It's a business weapon that you're sitting there, promote your business. You're doing this, do this. Hey, what's going on? Did you get the thing about the alert on your phone? Hey, well, here's another alert for you to come in for your facial. Hey, we got this new service. But the thing is this. So one thing I'm hearing from you, Rachel, is a lot of, hey, I got this new thing. Hey, you must try this. Hey, I'm just bringing this thing in there, because a lot of the times people will get bored of a lot of the same stuff. So if you can bring in something more or something new, or you just switch things up, you give it a cool new nickname,
right? And remarket it. My thing right now is holidays around the corner. Get your face, prepped for Christmas dinner, for, Hanukkah dinner, whatever, get your cheekbones sculpted by, Thanksgiving. These are the kinds of things that people aren't thinking of that you are, or at least I am, because I'm always thinking, right? So I went to a Korean scalp treatment massage place in Queens the other day in the city, and they had this camera that I ended up buying on Amazon for $150, right? It's a screen like this, and it has a little wire like a blow dryer, and it's got a high, like crazy high resolution image, right? And they showed me my scalp with it, but of course I picked it up and I'm like putting it on my nose, I'm putting it on my this, I'm putting it on my cheekbone, I'm putting it on my tattoos, and I'm going, wow, look at that. Now that's a fucking selling point. I bought 2 of them. I'm going to start, the clients will hold it because we're all gross and we want to see people pop pimples and stuff like that, right? I'm going to use this as a sales tactic. It costs $150, right? Going to show them all the blackheads on their nose and all their pigmentation, and they're going to look at it live as I'm holding it there. I'm going to clean their face out, and I'm going to show them it costs $150. Now it's a fucking party trick, right? So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. People like, oh, Rachel, you always got new stuff. You always got new stuff. Party tricks.
See, and seeing is believing. right?
Right.
Because sometimes it doesn't matter. I think one of the worst things ever are those mirrors with a 10 times resolution. When you look at yourself like, oh my God, and I look so bad. But in the beauty industry, it's the best tool
Right.
because a lot of clients, a lot of people just again, just how estheticians underestimate the amount of work it takes to be successful. A lot of clients underestimate how disgusting their face is.
Right.
They
Right.
just
Right.
it's like I don't look that bad. Oh, hold on, my dear.
Right. 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 Right.
Let me bust
Let me
out my
show you.
$150 camera thing real
Right.
good. Look at this. Do you see this pus filled area? Do you see
Right.
this bracket? Do you see all
Right.
this clogged sebum on your freaking nose?
Right. And sales. And let me show you what. I'm going to clean you out and I'm going to send you home with this peel pad, right? System. It costs $100. And if you use this at least twice a week for the next 3 weeks, by the time I see you next time, I guarantee your nose will not look like this. Let's try it out.
See, and the coolest shit, Rachel, why do you got me so excited? So it's you're not just selling a product, you're selling a solution. Two things that double S Rachel is busting out here. She's selling a solution. So whether it's nose pores or this or that or whatever, saggy freaking eyelids, whatever the heck it may be, right? She's selling a solution, not like here's some cleanser. No, she's selling a solution. And one of the words I'm hearing you say again and again is system. This is a system.
Mhm.
This a system will take time. It'll take these products. It is an encompassing solution that this system provides.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely. People
Yeah.
they want the answers. They want you to have the answers for them. They want you to tell them what to do. They want you to hand them solutions. I'm going to show you this, and next time you come see me, it's going to look like this. And you can promise people because the likelihood of them being like, it didn't work is null to nothing. Like if they're really using a nice, especially, your skin is so dry. And let me tell you, you're going to start using this, it's going to feel better. I've got so many tricks. It's not even funny. And I don't even know how I got this way. It's just inherent. I think like an entrepreneur and I'm very sales oriented. So
And that's such a critical part because I feel a lot of estheticians are not sales oriented. One thing that you also mentioned again and again are you're constantly dabbling with new toys, new
yeah,
tchotchkes, new these things. You're trying these things out and seeing, well, does this work? And then with excitement, once you see that you like it, then you're like, dude, I got something for you. But also you are looking at improvements. So
yes,
one thing I'm hearing from you again and again, how can I make the client this better? How can
right,
I do this? How can I make them feel more comfortable? How can I add this where they're like, oh wow, and these things do not always cost money. They don't need
right.
to.
Exactly. Like, $150 and now the client's going to be like, "Oh my God," and it's, bought off Amazon. It should be arriving today. And it's such an easy thing to increase sales. It's like a skin scope that you look through, right? But now this is something that a client's going to see, whether it's a new mask or whether it's, something I always did from the very get-go was I always gave them LED for free. I never upcharged them for LED. And in the very beginning, I had Saluma panels. I had a lot of them. Now I have, very ginormous, big LED. I don't charge them extra for it. And you know what? It's the added value. A client's like, oh my God, I have a huge bruise, or, I have my skin's really flared up. Come in. Lay down under the LED, no charge. Now they're like, it doesn't cost you anything to run that LED. You know what? It costs the room. If you really don't have the room, obviously don't do it. But we know we always have room. There's always an extra bed somewhere where they can lay down and do something. And always we try to cross sell too. Also, something I didn't tell you.
Ooh, tell.
we we don't do service commission in my spa.
Hmm.
All the girls do not get, well, we just started recently doing very small commission on retail, but other than that, everyone is an hourly. um I feel like when you focus on commission for your employees, it makes it a very possessive kind of mentality. That's my client, that's my sale, that's my this, that's my that. And we don't do that at Blue Water Spa. We all work together as a team. So for instance, you're coming in for a facial and you're like, oh my God, I need, I wanted to do a 30-minute foot massage, right? We don't really do that, but I'm just using that as an example, right? Or you need a Brazilian wax, right? And I'm like, me personally, I look at my schedule and I have another appointment coming in. I don't have the time, right? What's best for the business, right? The best for the business is I'm like, go see my girlfriend. She'll do it for you. But when you work on a commission base, you're like, no, I'm not going to let that person see that person because I don't want that person falling in love with her because I'm hurt. I don't want anyone knowing this person, right? And it's a really bad way to be because back to like sing song, right? I always think of, the Wizard of Oz, where it's like fluff, fluff here, fluff, fluff there, and a little bit of fa la la, right? So you have everybody working on the person and they feel so special. I'm going to get the massage therapist to come in and do the massage while you're laying down. Or, you know what, you need that leg wax really quickly. Let's bang it out because we don't have the time and I can only do it right now. Now you're tag teaming the client. And they're like, oh, and then we're all giggling, and it's the two of us working on this one client, and they feel so special, but it's really for the best of the business, because if you have to wait until tomorrow to get that client to come in for the Brazilian wax, for the foot massage, for the whatever, they're not coming. And you just lost out on however much if they wanted to get such and such done. Oh, I need a dermaplaning. I don't have the time. Well, I'm going to call so-and-so to do it while I'm doing something else. I don't know. You got to think like that. I think a lot of spas start out just doing straight commission because they can't afford to pay the taxes for the employee, but that's the better way to do it. And, also when you're paying them commission and no hourly, they're like, well, I don't have an appointment. I'm going to go food shopping. It's no way to build a business.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And because if we can focus on what is best for the business, what is best for the client, we take ourselves out of the picture.
Right.
And that's like long-term thinking. That's successful. It's sometimes it could be a slower thing, but it's the right thing. And I think a lot of the times we know what the right answer is. And if it was a commission-based scenario like you mentioned, it's like, well, this is my client, but I don't have time. But let me see if I can MacGyver her in and do this. So the client doesn't get it. I'm doing this. This next person might be running late now because of me. It's just it's really not worth it, right? When you kind of look at that. So another question that I actually had for you is, since you've been in the industry for a little bit longer now, what are some of the things that you wish you would have done earlier in your business that now that because you've seen the results of them, what are some of the things that you wish you might have implemented earlier?
Definitely, through time and experience, learning to not let certain things happen, certain behaviors carry on for employees, putting my foot down, speaking my truth. Those are really hard things to do, especially when you're a young woman, especially when I was, 26 years old, opening up a business. I'm 42 years old now. And I feel like just with time and experience, you just get so much wiser. I wish I jumped on Instagram earlier. I wish I spent more time working on that, knowing what it's become. I wish I had my employee handbook organized and well thought out. I've had numerous employees over the tenure of 15 years, and like, hey, you can't do that. Look at page 7 of your employee handbook. It's written there. You signed the bottom of the page. So you're not supposed to be doing that. Mm-hmm. Now, that's an easy way. Instead of sitting them down and being like, I saw you texted a client the other day, and then having this whole long drawn out thing. It's just like, hey, you texted a client the other day, read page 7 of our employee handbook. You explicitly signed that you weren't going to do that. Never do it again. Boom, done. So that kind of stuff, getting all of your ducks in a row, of knowing exactly what you do not want, what you do want, and making it very, very clear in your employee handbook. And, especially nowadays, you have a lot of girls that are like, I'm going to aesthetic school, and right outside of aesthetic school, I'm going to open up my own business. And
Yay.
I'm gonna promote myself on Instagram, and I'm gonna be a star. And it's like, That sounds awesome. It really does. I mean, and that's also kind of like a pipe dream. And I think like less than 0.00123% of girls can do that. But it takes a lot of experience. You don't know shit about shit. You don't know shit about how to run a business. You don't know shit about skin. School teaches you shit. We all know that. They teach you nothing. Right. So you really want to have a mentor. And everyone asks me who my mentor was, and I never had one. My mentor was trial and error in the school of hard knocks, you know, not to sound all dramatic, but like, oops, sorry, you're gonna peel a little bit, you know, like, oops, like I pulled off more of that eyebrow than I should have. Oops, you know, and it's just fucking fuck around, find out, right? Whatever the scale is, right? So, I mean, I think the employee handbook is things that I wish I did sooner, you know, getting on Instagram, starting to put myself out more, you know, because no one, look at the big marquee across the thing. No one cares, right? Like, just do it. Just be silly, be ridiculous, you know, put the content out there. People are either going to love you or they're going to keep scrolling. 90% of the time, they keep scrolling. Think of the rake analogy. You're going to capture certain people, you're not going to capture them all, you know? So just do it. Nike.
100% right. And that's the thing. It's like a lot of folks just are not doing it, right? It's they're just not doing it. So when it comes to your business, other than like the handbook and things of that sort, you
Mm-hmm.
know, what has been the best draw that helped you get clients? It's like what's the thing that you've done the most that's worked best for you to get clients?
So I would say probably investing my time and energy building my Google My Business page,
Hmm.
right? So because that is going to be before they click on your website, they're going to type in spas near me, right? Facial near me, you know, whatever near me, whatever they're looking for. And if you nurture your free unpaid Google business. I think it's under places now. I'm not sure, but it used to be Google My Business. Now I
Right.
think it's under maps. But if you work on that page just as much as you work on your Instagram and you post all of that stuff, you have, and you also get your clients to write reviews. I just got this really great thing. I don't have it on me. I forget what it's called, but it's a business card and it looks like a credit card and I have it taped to my front desk. And I literally like, hey, you guys want $5 off? And they're like, sure. And I grab their phone from them and I touch it down on the desk like this, and it automatically populates reviews, right?
Yeah.
So those reviews have like, they're attached to algorithms. So facial, you know, spa, you know, whatever those keywords are that people are looking for, you know, cryotherapy, massage, you know, manicure, pedicure, whatever, you know, all of those things will populate. So the more people write reviews about you, the more street cred you have, the more pictures you have on your Google My Business page, the better you will look. You know, I think that that's a huge free, you know, easy thing to build on. You know, when I first opened, I went online, I found a competitor, and I looked at every single website they were attached to.
Hmm.
Yahoo, you know, like we're talking about 2008, you know, Yellow Pages, you know, gosh, I mean, you could just go down, look at any other major competitor, look where they're listed, and then create your own profile and put your business on there.
Yep, yep.
That's what I did, you know, a million times over to try to get my business to grow and try to get my name out there, you
So,
know.
so let me ask you a question, Rachel. Let's just say there's another esthetician, right, out there, and she, just like any other esthetician, wants to do well. She's struggling with her business, but she's not doing some of these things that you mentioned. For example, she's not really nurturing her Google My Business page, which is free, like you mentioned, cost free and easy. The yellow pages, or this, or done the work that you did, because it sounds like you put in some research. You looked at what others are doing, where are they located, and you basically copied and followed that path. You didn't recreate the wheel. So
Right.
if another esthetician is not taking advantage of these free services, uh, would you consider that other esthetician really serious about her business or a student to improve?
No, because you're not You're not doing whatever it takes. It's like, listen, this is, you know, it's sink or swim, you know? You either want it or you don't want it. It's like being an actress. It's like, if you're not, trying out for the role, you're never going to get any role. No one's going to see you on the street and be like, oh my God, your skin's so beautiful. Where do you get facials? Oh, I do my own facials. I'm an esthetician. Like, the rarity of that happening is zilch, right?
So here, going into that here, you obviously have beautiful skin, right? How often has that happened to you, where a stranger, not a friend or a family member at a party, but you're walking and a stranger said that, or
Handful of times, but a handful of times, but I'm that person that I'm like, oh, also too, I'm like shameless. Like, I'll find any conversation and I'll turn it into, oh, and that's why, and I'll interject, like, I'm a business owner. I own my own business. I do facials for a living, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm shameless. I don't care. This is my livelihood, right? Yeah. I really, really, really want to be the most successful. I want to have a huge company. I want to do multi-millions of dollars a year. Like, that's my goal. And I am not going to stop until I get there. So for me, I'm just getting started, and I've already been doing this for 15 years. One's not enough. I want to keep going. I have no shame. I want to, like, what is it going to take? Like, what I got to do.
At one point, Rachel, you had shame, let's just say. There was a point in your life in the beauty industry, maybe in the beginning, where you had shame. Now you have no shame in promoting yourself. What got you from there to there? Meaning how, if somebody else is.
I'm hungry. Huh? I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I want it. I fucking want it. And I know what I want is on the other side of my comfortability, right? So you have to do it. You have to make the stupid TikTok videos where people are laughing at you, or you just have to keep creating content, because it could just be one video that you didn't think was going to do well that did very well, and everyone follows you from there on out. And now you've got people's ear, and the more people that follow you, the more people to follow you. And now you want to sell one product. I mean, I'm going to be carrying a skincare line where I don't even have to keep it in stock, and I get a 40% commission off of selling it.
Yeah.
What? That's insane. So to me, like, I don't have to have a warehouse. I don't have to keep it in stock. I don't have to, it drop ships straight from the link that they purchase it from. I mean, that's where the world's going. So if you want to start selling, like, sales are king. Like, you can do 1 million facials a day. If you suck at sales, I mean, the way I look at it is Macy's is just sales, right? No one's doing services there. They're kicking ass, right? Well, Macy's probably not, but Sephora is just sales, right? Boutique stores, they're all sales. Yeah. It's just selling. If you can create a business where you're doing a tremendous amount of sales, people walk in, oh, look at this, a candle. Let me get Aunt Jenny a birthday candle for her birthday. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. You just sold something. You just made $50 selling that candle.
Ta-da.
I don't know. Sales are king. If you guys aren't focusing on sales, you're missing out on the most important part of growing your business. So I would even be more sales oriented, because it's less work. You're making 100% commission. You're buying a product for $50. You're selling it for 100. Less work. You just made $50. And how many Brazilian waxes do you have to do to get that $50? I don't know.
And and a lot of the stuff, it's, I believe in this business, in this industry, and I'm here to be real. There's a lot of people that don't like what I have to say, and one thing I always remind anybody that's listening to this is I am a fighter, and I am an advocate for you. I want you to win, and sometimes it's listening to shit that you don't want to listen to. Oh, yeah. I feel a lot of estheticians saying, "Oh, I want this," or "Oh, this is I was made for this," and like you mentioned, "Oh, I'm hungry." But then I look at the work that they're doing, and the words they're saying is not matching the effort that they are putting out, right? And unfortunately, the words aren't going to be the ones paying the money or bringing the money in. It is the effort. So a lot of y'all that are, oh, I'm a hustler, I'm an entrepreneur. I want you to really look at yourself and go, are you doing these things that Rachel is doing? Are you shameless? Are you promoting yourself? Any conversation, oh my God, it burns when I pee. Well, you know, one thing, I can't help you with that, but your skin, I've noticed, we can, right? I mean, there's certain, you
Right.
gotta put yourselves in conversations
Right.
and just talk about that, because, and Rachel, you and I were chit-chatting about this earlier, is a person can do 100 posts or on social media, on Tik or on Insta, Facebook, whatever. You can do 100. 99 of them can just suck. But it only takes one to be like, ooh, wow, that one got me going. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
no? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people love, like, for instance, I love watching rug cleaning videos on the internet.
The clean the lines.
I love it. I love it. Those, and the guy that comes and knocks on your door and mows those overgrown lawns, I watch those too, you know?
Nice
So
guy.
to me, it's what's interesting to watch.
Yeah.
What's interesting, what's compelling, what's exciting. The funny ones might do really, really well, but really good massage movements, really good ASMR, the alginate masks, the gold things, people love that shit. And all you have to do is have the right trending audio, the right lighting, the right video, the right pretty face, the right beautiful eyebrow, and boom. Now you're popped into the algorithm. I personally have not gotten there yet. But to me, I'm slowly building up my, viewership one by one. Sometimes when you go viral like that, you're getting a bunch of people that are looking at rug cleaning videos and they're never going to ask you to wash their rug.
Yeah.
So as cool as that is, are they really going to be clients for you? That's the other, like,
It's like, and you don't know, right?
right,
It's like you don't know. They couldn't, like
right,
same thing with me. I watched the drug cleaning, and one thing I just thought of, and you know what? It's just part about how I believe people like you and I think. Like I'll
right.
see a rug cleaning video, and I'll be like, you know what's a good idea? I can start with the rug cleaning video, and then I'm going to
I
throw in
know it too.
the facial stuff after it, right?
Right,
It just starts
right,
with that. The first 3 seconds is rug cleaning, and then all of a
right,
sudden it's like,
right, right.
it's like
Maybe
you
maybe
mess
you
around.
maybe you do a video with my new camera of the gross noses beforehand, extraction, zoom in, pimple pops out, and then you do the next video with the camera and show the evacuated pore.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
know?
that's all it is. So much of this business is, I believe, and it goes back into the hard work. It's the harder you work, the luckier you get. Because what's going to happen is the more you work, you're going to, exactly what you mentioned before, Rachel. It's like, well, this didn't work. It's like, oh, shit. I don't know what the hell I was thinking there. Okay, we got to do this. Dealt with that a couple years ago. It's just
Mm-hmm.
this thing called experience,
Right,
right?
right,
Because the more you do, and one thing I heard recently is a lot of people struggle in business not because they failed, but because they didn't even freaking try.
try. They
They
didn't
didn't
try.
take the chance. They're so afraid. They're those perfectionists. That's
Right,
like, oh, it's not good enough
right.
yet. Well, while you're trying to fucking make it good enough, there's a nobody on TikTok selling a bunch of elephant, whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it was, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
That's it.
Right. And so, back to what you were saying before, it's like I feel like inherently we're afraid of failing, so we don't even try,
Mhm.
and if you can think about, like, what would you do to start making, $6,000 a month in, paycheck, what would that look like to you? Would that feel good? Would you be like, cool, like I'm making some money, that's great, that's how you have to think. You have to think of, like, man, and I'm gonna put a pool in my yard, or I'm gonna, I think big picture. I'm like, okay, and when I'm working on Gwyneth Paltrow in, a year from now, like, legit, because I'm gonna be out in the Hamptons, and you know who's out in the Hamptons? Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, I'm going to be a great skincare place in the land of kind of nothing. And, my mind is always going to what's next? Where am I going? What are my dreams? Like, I spend a lot of time thinking about where I'm going to go, who I'm going to be, what I'm going to look like, what kind of shit I'm going to be doing. Like I manifest the shit out of my life. And I've always had big dreams, always. And I feel like, what are your dreams? Like, what's your dream? Like, what do you want in your life? What, like, a lot of people don't even fucking know. They don't even think like that. They don't even have a dream. Well, I just, I was hoping that I'd, pay my rent this month,
That's not
no.
a dream, right? And but Rachel here, and just to play a devil's advocate, that I almost think very opposite. Like I think a lot of people have the dream sometimes, right? Or they some have a vision, but the thing I think they're really missing out on is the fucking action behind it. So one thing that I feel is giving you the additional confidence to not only dream big is you've dreamt in the past and then you've accomplished it with your work, your workload, your effort, just your the way how you run it, and then your dreams have increased and now
Right.
boom boom boom. So
Right.
you are reaching with this hand, and then this one you're like, okay, I got you.
Right.
Boom,
Right.
boom, boom, boom. It takes two, right? It
I
takes the
remember,
dream
I
and it
remember,
takes this.
I remember days where I was like, I just need to make $1,000 today.
Yeah.
Just need to make $1,000. Now, if I'm not making $8,000 to $10,000,
Yeah, like if I made $1,000, I'm gonna be in the homeless shelter.
and $1,000, I'm like, I'm going home. I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep. So that's kind of like the whole like more money, more problems shit, like, but there's times where it's one client that comes in and she spends $2,000 between an expensive facial and she buys products for, an entire new this or an entire new that. And like, that's just one client. I had a client that bought a $5,000 package the other day because I put it together.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little bit of this, I'll give you a little bit of this, and then I added things to the package, right? I'll give you free bodysuit. I'm going to give you free body cream, a cellulite cream. I'm going to, put you on the vibration plate, like stupid shit, just stupid shit for free. And they're like, ooh, added value, and I spent a lot of time reading books, right? Like Alex Hermosi's $1 million, $100 million offers, right? Like
Yes.
I listen to a lot of these audiobooks about how to make a Grand Slam offer, right? So I feel like you can talk all the shit in the world, but like, are you putting in the time? Are you thinking about winning all the time? I am. I'm reading these books. I'm like how to close sales. I mean, you should see my audiobook, list. It's just filled with, as man thinketh, right? Like all of those cheesy, like, gosh, I could pull them all up right now. But all of these books, like, trying to better myself because you don't know shit until you know shit. And you don't know shit. Like, so, and listen, I go to all these trade shows and I watch all these people's talk. And 99% of the time, I'm like, I could teach this class. I could teach this class. And that's not like, I'm not being full of myself. I really don't think a lot of these people have actual practical experience. And that's why I was like, I reached out to you. I was like, you want to have me on your podcast? I think I'd be good on the podcast, because that's something I'm thinking about doing, Retail Doctors Guide to Growing Your Business. Okay. Creating Your Heart's Desire, The Magic of Thinking Big, The Alter Ego Effect, $100 million offers, 10 times easier is time to, like the E-Myth. Oh my God. The last Law of Attraction book you'll read. I can go fucking on and on and on.
No. And you know what? So everybody, if you haven't, a great person to follow, if you haven't, is Alex Hormozi. His book, $100 million Offers, fantastic book. And one of the best lines, and I think they start off the book with that, is if, make an offer so good that the other person feels stupid saying no. Right. And what that basically means is if a client comes in, you keep giving them shit, keep giving them stuff, keep giving them value until at some point they're like, this is too good, and they teeter, right? So if you're just giving a facial, and this is kind of the metric I look at, I can tell if an esthetician business is doing well or not. For example, you, Rachel, you have systems in place, you have solutions in place. So a lot of the stuff that you do, a person cannot compete with you directly from like a Groupon, right? So they might have something similar in terms of like your basic facial, but like for these packages that you sell, 1,500, 5,000, etc. It's with your customer service and this and things you're putting together. If most estheticians and businesses I look at, they have this facial, they have this, they have like 3, 4 things. If I can go on Groupon and get the exact same thing for half the price, why in God's green earth do I need you? Right? It's the value of, well, and this, you know what? And let me just vent because I hear this so much from estheticians, and it just I want to hit my head against the wall. Well, if they don't know my value, then I don't want them as a client. I just want to stab myself in the ears, and I wish I was deaf when I hear that from estheticians. If they don't know my value, if they don't understand my value, it's like my dear, no one understands your value because they don't know you. You haven't.
Right.
You haven't. How do you determine and push that value on someone? Someone's not going to just go to your website. Well, I just refer to my website, and if they don't want to book with me, then I don't want them as a client. Just freaking slap yourself if
Right.
that's the mentality.
Right.
Am I wrong?
Right.
Am I wrong? Am I being too much of a
No,
bad
not
guy?
at all. I agree with you. It's hard to have hardcore, business ethics and values when you don't have a business ish. When you're not churning out clients and trying to get them in the door. Like I have a $20 off coupon to get new clients in the door. And, it comes with a whole, pop-up window and a whole form, and then they get thrown into the funnel. Like I play the fucking game, and you have to play the game, and then it's the lead nurturing. And then the hey, we have the girls call up, hey, we see that you've clicked an offer on our website. Like we do the whole thing because that's what it fucking takes. You gotta pluck and play the game. People aren't going to know you. You're always, what's your hook, right? You got to put something on the you're fishing, right? You got to put some bait on the hook. What's your bait? People, if you're fucking fishing with no bait, you're not going to get anything. So talking about your values and, like this is, I'm not willing to discount because I'm this and fuck that. You have to get people in the door with some hook. What's your hook, right? My hook is Christmas is around the corner. How's your face going to look with that lighting in your dining room table? What's your hook? Getting them in. And my whole thing is get them in the fucking door. Get them in the door. Get them in the door. I don't care. Once they walk in the door, you can talk about your values all you like. And then you get to put on the show.
Yep.
Then you get to
that's exactly
wow
it.
them.
So imagine so whoever's watching this, right? Imagine you are competing against Rachel, right? And I'm not saying like oh, anyone can do what Rachel's doing. Rachel, you're amazing, but
I'm not
I don't know
special.
if you can walk on water. I don't know, you are pretty cool though, but look at what the amount of work she is doing. It's like
Right.
I have nothing but mad respect for someone that I'm doing this. I'll get them in the door. I'm gonna massage their feet, and I'll do this. I have systems in place. As soon as they're hit this, somebody's calling them back. Somebody's doing this. I'm selling these solutions. I'm offering this. I'm giving them excitement. It's like I hope that you are seeing the 360 degree of behind the doors and over, under, and all around of what it takes to get to this level. And if you go, man, I don't want to do that kind of work, then you are going to be where you are,
And that's fine, right?
and that's fine.
Like, yeah, it's awesome. You want to have your own clientele. You want to come into work. You want to be home by 3, get your
Yep.
kids off the
And that's
bus.
fine if that's what they want, right?
Right. I want to be a multimillionaire. That's what I want. I want to make so much fucking money that I want to be in the south of France on a yacht, and I want to pick up a product and be like, well, I just got off the helicopter and my face is really dry, so I'm going to use my spray, and then I'm going to go to sleep that night and wake up to $10,000 in sales. That's what I fucking want. That's my dream, I have big dreams of grandeur. I know that sounds silly, but so many
Not at all.
stupid people fucking win all the time. Why
Yeah.
can't I? So many stupid people. Like I look at, companies that sell out to L'Oreal, companies,
Kylie Cosmetics, right?
right?
Freaking-
It's
Dude,
just, and you can find the manufacturer that makes the Kylie Cosmetics and you can buy from them too.
Yep. But
And,
it's the hustle. It's the hustle behind the products. It's the person. It's the energy. It's the
right.
systems.
Yeah.
It's the stress, the
Right.
sleepless nights. But again, if you dream big, if it was easy to do,
Everyone
everybody
would
would be
do
doing
it. Right. Right. And you know what? Like you said, it's fucking hustle. It's nonstop. It's what your dream is. It's knowing what you want. It's going after it. It's fighting for it every single day. And also, back to what I was saying earlier about, what do you want? What are your dreams? You really have to work on yourself. Because
it.
if you don't feel good inside, you're not going to make other people feel good. So, do what you can to be the best version of you. Because I can be a great esthetician, but if I'm not being a good leader to all of the people that work for me, and I'm not fucking in my heart bursting with excitement and energy, I'm going to make you know, nobody's day. I got to work on exciting everybody, perking everybody up. You have to be that kind of energy and light that everyone sees
So
first.
and that's perfect thing. So what lifts your spirits when business or life gets you down? How do you get back to because you charge batteries. You have to. You don't
Right,
really have a fucking choice. It's either you charge
right,
batteries or you go broke, right?
right.
So how do you do that when things are
Right.
not sunshine
I'd
and
love
lollipops?
I'd love to tell you that like I do, 2 hours of meditation and yoga a day and I like namaste all my bullshit away. I do none of that. Um, what recharges my batteries is getting in my car, driving to work, going to work, opening up that front door, walking into this fucking massive place that's mine, and actually realizing every single fucking thing in this place is mine. You
Yeah.
know, 13 treatment rooms. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars of machines. I have people that work for me. And really, what feeds my soul, what fucking gets me going is, connecting with my clients. So that's always going to be one of the hardest things I'm ever going to have to do because in order for me to grow, I have to step away from my treatment room. I cannot sit behind the door all day long. I'm never going to grow. So I'm going to have to start pulling that part away and focus on business and how to grow my business and doing more content and spending more time putting myself on the internet because I can only make $1,000 an hour in the room. That means like between service and retail, that's not enough money. I need to make more. I can turn around and make a video, sell $1,000 in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
making a video and promoting it and pushing it and this, that, and the third. So I have to step away from the treatment room. But what feeds me is working on clients, connecting, making them laugh. Turning them on, they turn me on. It's, in a non-sexual way, but it's a very exciting, it's like a car battery. It's like one drives the other, so to me, that's what makes me happy.
Yeah, and you know what? I think anyone watching this, I think you can resonate with exactly what Rachel's saying because I remember the first time I bought a house, right? And it's a total fixer upper. I had no furniture in there, nothing. And the first day I went there, I slept like on the ground with like a sleeping bag, and I looked outside the sliding door, and I was looking at the moon, and I go, I can't believe this is mine,
Yeah.
right? And no matter where you are in your journey, whether it's like I can't believe I'm an esthetician, I can't believe I made it to school, I
Right.
can't believe I'm renting a salon, I can't believe I bought this building. So we all start from this place, and a lot of the times, if we just shut the fuck up, the only people that don't have problems are dead people. So
Yeah.
understand that. If you have a pulse, that
Right.
you are better off than somebody that has cancer or a million other problems and real problems in their
Right.
life.
Right.
But stop and think about the first time you accomplished something and be like, you know what, life is fucking good.
Right. It's the attitude of gratitude, you
Life
know.
life is so
Right.
good, and a lot of people, well, life isn't fair. I am the opposite. I believe life is very fair.
Right.
You put in the work, you will get certain results. You sow, you reap. If you
Right.
do what Rachel has done, it would be just odd to not get similar results. That's just how it works.
Right. And I do believe everything's a lesson. So, I mean, I haven't had super duper duper tragedy, like real loss as far as like loved ones, family members, but I do believe that everything that happens, and you can take that and you can flip it and you can be like, what have I learned from this, right? So anything shitty that happens, anything that's, you know, traumatic or like, oh, that was a huge loss, fucking learn from it, don't do it again, and, you know, keep going. You know, it's like, and be grateful for everything you have, because 5 years ago I was dreaming about being where I am now, and then, you know, 5 years from now I'm gonna, you know, be where I was dreaming to be 5 years from now, you know, 100%. And I
Yeah,
have no
but
doubt in my mind.
what a nightmare it would be, Rachel, if 5 years from now, or even 5 years before, you know, you were still there,
Right.
right? And I see a lot of estheticians that are struggling. So as you watch this, if you are not happy with your paycheck, if you're not happy with your sales, if you're not happy, or you thought you'd be further ahead than where you are now, but you are not making changes or reading the books or trying something different, you know, it's, to me, that's just a tragedy. They say one of the wealthiest place in the world is a graveyard, where people die with their dreams, they die with their ideas, they die of things that they could have done and become, but they didn't. So
Right.
so when we look at you, Rachel, what is next level for you?
Next level, like what's next?
That's typically what next level means.
All right. Well, no, next level meaning, okay. So, what's next for me is I hope to have my second business open in probably end of November, early December.
Mhm.
And it's actually a really good time because Hamptons are very quiet then. So I'm going to, you know, really get kind of a feel for how we're doing it, going to get all the girls trained. Um, and then in the spring, it's going to be fucking insane because the Hamptons are wild. You know, you have to remember the people in the Hamptons are renting houses for $40,000 a month, just renting, right? And they're going out to dinner and they're drinking bottles of wine that are $300 and they're drinking three of them, you know, $300 bottles of wine. That's, you know, a facial, a $300-$400 facial is fucking nothing to them. You know, this is nothing. They, you know, and you have to remember, guys, like, you know, I say this to my clients and to the girls that work for me all the time. $300 is not that much money anymore. Okay. And $300 is what women are spending on shoes all day long. Outfits, shoes, clothing. You have to make what you are offering them worthy of being that level, right? Clothing, shoes. I just bought a $600 Dyson hair air wrap. I fucking love it. $600 though. You know how many people have that fucking $600 hair wrap? Tons of women have it. All my clients have it, right? So they're willing to spend the money. You just have to make it worthy for them. So that's where the added benefit and value comes in. And then what I want to do, back to what we were saying, after the Hamptons, you know, happen, because like I know that there's going to be a lot of celebrities there, because the day that I decided that I was going to rent the place, I was at a furniture store and I was talking to my friend about the Hamptons, and I'm like, talk to me about the Hamptons. How is it? You know, give me the lowdown, and you know, what other spas are around here? And this woman walks up to me. She's like, did you just say spa? And I said, yeah. You know, I said, I'm talking about opening a spa out here. It's fucking Drew Barrymore. And Drew Barrymore is like, well, let me tell you about, you know, all the spas out here. Well, you know, there's this place and there's that place. And it's fucking Drew Barrymore. And I
Right.
tell her about what I'm doing. And she goes, this is going to be amazing. We need somebody like you. And I'm like, holy fuck, Drew Barrymore's talking to me, telling me to open up a spa in the Hamptons. So it's like that in the Hamptons. So it's going to be amazing. I'm going to make a ton of money. I'm anticipating that I'm going to be making probably in the summer $15,000 a day, maybe 20 in product sales and service sales.
Yeah.
Package sales. You know, I'm going to bring my M Sculpt machine out there. We're going to be like the only one that has M Sculpt out there. And those are $3,000 packages,
So
$3,500
Rachel,
packages.
how do you say this with such confidence? What's your deal?
I fucking know it. It's not even confidence. It's just an inevitability.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like, I'm not
No,
myself, but
dude,
I've been doing this for a long
do
time.
not apologize, right? So unapologetically, as you say things, and the reason I even point this out is, a lot of folks just struggle with that. And again, Rachel wasn't always here. At one point,
No.
she was talking $1,000, right? Or just doing this or getting there. But one thing, and I love what Alex Hormozy says about this. He goes, confidence isn't built by saying what you're gonna do. It's built by all these things you have done. So
Right.
you build it with your experience. I have already done this. I have already done this. I have already done this. So even a newer esthetician, you've gone to school, you've done the training, you've done this, you've done. Now it's putting that into work, helping people, going above and beyond. You build your platform, and then you step up to the next level, and then you continue building. So
Right.
when you get to where Rachel is now, then you have this track record.
Right.
So where I think a lot of movies like The Secret and Manifestation, it's like me saying I want to be in great shape. I'm gonna just think about it for 8 hours and meditate, and I sit my fat ass on the sofa and eat Doritos. It's
Right.
like no, my
Yeah.
manifestation is gonna come from this with this.
Right. And it really is what you want is on the opposite of your comfort level. Like I said to you before, I remember I used to hate doing eyebrow waxing. Fucking hated it. You couldn't I would always, tell somebody else to do it until I took an eyebrow shaping class. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get good at this because guess what? If you're good at eyebrows, people will keep coming to you, and then you chew them, then they trust you with their brows, and then they trust you with your face. And I took I think it was a $50, $100 eyebrow course from this girl, Regina. She does these amazing eyebrows, and there was this great online course, and I got good at eyebrows. I found my confidence in eyebrows, right? And I'm like, I can fix your eyebrows. And that confidence comes from knowing what you're capable of doing. I know I'm fucking capable of making a shit ton of money. It's confidence because you have the experience. You know you can fix somebody's eyebrow. You know you can fix their skin. I have the experience doing that before. It's really comes from experience and knowing your own capabilities. You know your worth.
How
Finding.
long was that course? How long was that course? How long did you take, or whatever it was?
I think it was like a 2-week course. I mean, I'm sure you could do it on a Sunday, but I feel like there's small things you can do to constantly level yourself up. Doing eyebrows is one of them. Finding something like, oh, I'm a, Reiki master. I mean, that's a little bit more, but, finding something that separates you. You become a Reiki master now. You could do 5 minutes of Reiki at the end of every facial, separate yourself, you know, so many. I mean, I can go fucking on and on forever.
So what's very interesting, what I just thought of as you were saying that, a lot of the times we have a fear, or we don't want to do something. Like, for example, let's just say eyebrows, like, I don't want to do eyebrows. A lot of the times, you know what? We don't want to do something because we're just not good at it.
Right. The
Right?
1,000%. Right.
So here's a fucking realization for y'all watching, right? So if there's something you're like, I don't want to do this, I don't. If you were good at it, would you want to do it more?
No.
Probably yes. And if that is the case, like someone like you paid 50, let's just say $100 for this
Right.
course, and then you became good at it because you are now knowledgeable, and then you did it. So many times you're like, well, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Well, if you were good at it, or you just learned how to do it, and so many things are learnable nowadays, you can learn how to do Facebook ads over a weekend. And I know estheticians that have been in business for 10 years that are still struggling with it. How
Right.
long do you want to struggle? How long do you not want to be good at it
Right.
if it is possible to be good at it,
Right.
especially with everything that's available nowadays? And then, like you just mentioned, you just get good at it. And you're like, and then you get that track record, and it's like, oh my God, I can do this, and I can fix you, and I can help this. And now you instantly, a person might like doing that more.
Right. And guess what? You can charge $50 to do a great set of eyebrows, and it takes you 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, shit, I need to learn.
Talk about an upgrade, like these are the things that I think are just so valuable in our industry, and also making a client absolutely tethered to you for the rest of your life. If you can do their eyebrows well, they will fucking bow down to you, and they will follow you wherever you go. Eyebrows are very tricky. So
So when are you going to start consulting and stuff?
I know, right? Shouldn't I? Actually, my business coach is always telling me I should do consulting.
Hey, you can
Um,
just like exactly like Alex Hormozy, right?
I know,
You do the work, you get the track record,
I
you build
know.
it like that, and then you just charge a buttload of money because you know if the average esthetician, let's just say, is doing 35,000 a year, and you take it from 35 to 150, you know, I'm pretty sure there's some money in that margin.
So I think that I will probably think about that maybe about 6 years from now. I have this like, I want to open up to three. I
Mhm.
want to create my own line. And then I want a company to come and buy me out for like multi millions of dollars. I'm not even joking. That's like my dream.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
the
want to
game.
create a handful of spas, and then I want like a company like, I don't know. I mean, here's what I find very interesting. There's no standard for facials in the
No,
country,
no.
right? There's no standard for manicures in the country, right? It's from one person to another, you're getting something different, right? But you know, you can go to McDonald's and get the same cheeseburger, right? And you know, you can go, all over for, specific, there's chains, all over, but there's no high-end standard for quality facials. They're all discounted. The fuck is that about? Right? So I kind of want to create the first high-end skincare chain.
Cool.
And then I want a company to be like, here's $100 million. Thank you very much. And I'll be like, see ya. And I'll go to like the south of France and drink rosé and talk about products. And
So when I start seeing pictures of you on yachts and you know south
oh,
of France, I'll
you'll
know
know.
something good. I'll know something good has occurred.
You'll know. But then I that's when I think that I'll kind of jump into consulting, because I do love this and I have a hard time kind of thinking about never doing this again. And I love working with people, and I always am thinking about, so I go to the Korean place and I get my hair, scrubbed, and I go, it's a scalp treatment, right? Where they scrub you and the water comes like a halo. It's super cool. You're going to start seeing these pop up all over. And I'm laying on this table. There's no fucking, bolster. The table's not heated. It's not comfortable. My back is hurting. And in my head, I'm like, you could charge triple the amount for what you're charging and just make it luxurious. It's
Yeah.
not, I look at these girls, like if you guys have a shitty table that your clients are laying on and you don't have padding and you haven't, gotten like the little egg crate, like foam, like cushion that goes on top of the bed, and you're not using a heated mat to go on top of it, and you're not using nice sheets, you're totally missing out. My clients lay on my table and they go, oh my God, can I just have one of these at home? This is just like the most comfortable thing on earth. And I have their legs all the way contoured up like this, and they're laying like this, and their feet are up here and their heads down here. And you just took all the stress off of their lower back, and
Yeah.
they're laying there, and they will do anything you tell them to do. It's small little things like that that make all the difference in the world.
And you know what? It's like it's just paying attention, and a lot of the time, just like you know, what do you want? Like me, this is what I want. This is how I want to feel. If I'm uncomfortable someplace or laying on this, chances are other people are as well.
Right.
Right. So test your own stuff. And one thing I hear a lot of other estheticians do as well is they'll go to other services, and like you mentioned with this Korean place, you'll look at this. What could they be doing better? What are they doing well that you like, that you can
Oh,
flip that and take it to your business, and you try and you learn
the
from them, right?
R&D is real. The R&D is real. You got to always go elsewhere, see what they're doing, swipe it on that credit card. It's a write-off. You know how much shit I write off? I mean, that's the other thing is like, if you don't have that corporation built in,
Mhm.
you get to write off so much stuff. Like every time, you're going to the supermarket, you're buying paper towels, business expense. Like there's so many good things to being like, I'm an S corp, but there's so many good things to having your business structured the right way, and paying your, so back to COVID, and all that PPP, all those girls that were not, didn't have employees, missed out on the employee retention credit, which we made a lot of money. Well, we paid them back, but we did a lot. We got a lot of government funding during COVID. I mean, I was shut down for 6 months, and that totally sucked. That was really painful, actually. And a lot of businesses closed down, a lot of people moved, but I look at COVID, and I still think that it was a great thing for our industry,
Yeah.
because it was the great shakeup, I call it, right?
Yeah.
Women that were not into it quit. and women that wanted to start it up started it up. And it was a great opportunity for clients that were like, I've been seeing Janet for 12 years and, I'm not really happy, but I don't know how to break up with her. This was a great time for people to try new hairdressers, get new estheticians, change things up. The gym spas were all closed down. People were all going elsewhere. And I gained a lot of clients during COVID, like a lot. So, and I'm still seeing the fallout from that because people are still struggling to keep their businesses open. And we had our best year after COVID, our best year ever after COVID. So
Yeah,
it's totally possible.
It's setting yourself up, and the next, and if anybody is out here is listening, the next COVID is happening. So there's going to be something. There's always going to be something, and that's why it's critical, I believe, for a survival of any business. How unprofessional is it if a person is just relying on their services or they're not selling his products? Because you take one hit in one area, and you're not comfortable being in sales, you're still shamed, and you don't want to ask for business, or some people feel they're too good to do this and do that.
Right.
It's like you're just leaving so much money on the table, and a lot of the times it's like I always ask myself, it's like, what am I doing it for? Who am I doing it for? And if that why is big enough, then there's times I will let myself down, which I'm not very proud of, right? But I will not let that person down. I will not let my mom down, or this person down, or the people that I'm doing all this for. It's like I am willing to be shitty sometimes, but I'm not willing to be a bad son.
Right.
Right. So it's kind of like just realigning the purpose and going, you know what, let me do it for this person. And
Right.
it's like,
And think about this, ladies. Well, it's mostly ladies, right? You want to be the breadwinner in your family. You want to start making some fucking real money.
yeah.
It's totally possible because this industry has grown 3,000% in the last 5 years, and it's just going to get worse. I have a 10-year-old daughter. She's my youngest, and she is into skincare. She has a 10-step routine. And, our clients that we're working on now, these are our baby boomers. These are women that were never, ever, ever doing facials before in their life, right? They didn't grow up doing facials. They didn't get their nails painted at their wedding. They didn't get their makeup done at their wedding, right? They did it themselves, right? My mom got married in 1973. She didn't do her hair and makeup, right? That wasn't something that you did. You wouldn't dream of getting married now and not doing your hair and makeup, right? So think about this next generation. My 10-year-old has like a 6-step skincare routine. Think about this next generation of women in 20 years from now. These women are going to be so invested into their skin. They're going to be getting facials from a very young age. They're going to be your next biggest clientele, this Gen Z or whatever the hell you call them. These are going to be the guys that are, really driving the economy in the beauty industry. So just strap on your boots because it's just going to fucking explode. All the Kylie Jenner girls and all those young kids that are, the Florence by Mills, all of those girls, boom, huge money, huge.
100. And so just to close things up, Rachel, there's gonna be a lot of estheticians that are gonna be watching this. What's your final piece of advice? What's a message you would like to get across to the group, and things that would help the esthetician, the solo esthetician that's struggling to bring in clients or make sales, or provide for their family, or whatever the struggle may be.
So I think that the takeaway here is you absolutely can do it, right? So there's so much opportunity now than ever before to be a 6, 7 figure esthetician. You know, that's number one. Number two, whatever you're uncomfortable doing, fucking face it head on and get excellent at it. And, just melt your fears away. Like if you don't want to do dermaplaning, get with it. If you don't want to do brow waxing, get with it. These are add-ons that will, make your clients really dedicated to you and give you more confidence to be that 7-star esthetician that you want to be. That's number two. Number three, as a woman, this is a time, no offense, this is a woman's time now, right? And women are stepping forward into their power, and women are, going to be the head of the household soon. We're going to see this big turnover. And like like a L'Oreal ad, but you're totally worth it. You are going to be amazing if you put your drive and your focus and your energy into being what you want, and getting there. You absolutely can do it. And there's no reason why you couldn't. If you focus on it and you really, really think about what you want in your life, you will do that 100%. Like if you dream it, you can be it, right? And what you're not changing, you're also choosing,
Yeah.
right? To what you were saying before. If you don't, and that's fine. If you want to have a good income and you don't want to grow and you don't want to be a multimillionaire like what I want, that's awesome too, but you can, whatever you want, you can do it. If you can think it, you can do it, truly. Like I really believe in that. So really, really, really think and manifest and create and write down exactly what you want. Did you see that thing with Jim Carrey where he wrote himself a check for $10 million and he
Yep.
put it in his wallet and he held on to it? And that's what I want even if you're not an esthetician, I want you to really think about what you want in your life. What are your dreams? What do you want to grow into? Like, where do you see yourself in a year, 5 years, 10 years from now? And really think about that and work like a story you're telling yourself. What is the story of you? And create that and work towards that, because once you start thinking about it, it's like The Secret. You start thinking about it, you absolutely will work towards it. And there's no reason why we all can't be making a ton of money, because there's going to be a ton of money to make, and it's 100% possible. So just get over yourself, because no one cares, right? This is on the marquee, right? No one gives a fuck, right? So be stupid, be silly, put yourself out there, like who cares? We don't have time for anything else than to be 100% your authentic self, and who cares if people laugh at you? You'll be laughing all the way to the bank, right? And you'll be putting the pool in your house and you'll be driving a fancy car and you'll be taking nice vacations, and let them fucking laugh. That's
Yeah.
my advice.
No, 100%. And a lot of the times when we are so self-conscious about ourselves, about what people think, and it's just understanding that no one, like you mentioned, no one cares about us because they're too worried thinking
About
about
themselves.
themselves, right? And that
Right.
and the final thing that I'll close with is, bold beauty boss, to whoever's watching this, you will always hit your goal, your real goal. And a lot of the times, the real goal that you have, it's not what you think it is. So for example, if aliens came and they saw an esthetician and they followed her around and saw what she did all day, and she's watching her Netflix series, she's watching this, she's on social media, hours on TikTok, just killing time. And you ask the alien, what is her real goal? Her real goal in life is to watch Netflix TV and watch social media. So that is your real goal, because those are the actions that you're doing. And if that is your real goal, you are hitting that goal. If your goal is more grandeur, like Rachel, and you want to do this and do that, and that the aliens see the work she's doing, that is her goal.
Right.
Will always hit your real goal. And sometimes the real goal may not be what we say, but it is what we do. And you
Right.
will always hit that. Just make sure that goal is worthy of you, your life. You're consistent with your words and your actions, because once those two bond, once you're able to manifest something, think about it and back that manifestation up with action. Because Rachel, to me, it'd be very foolish if you were saying, well, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, well, Rachel, yeah, I just saw on social media you were on Netflix for 8 hours yesterday doing that marathon, right? Of this and this and da 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 da. Yeah, it's like just be consistent with it, right? Did I miss anything, Rachel? Anything else I forgot to ask you, or you want to throw in there?
No, I mean, I think we hit it all, but back to just like you can totally do it if you want it bad enough, and
100.
push yourself to do things that you to feel uncomfortable doing to get there, and believe in yourself. You're totally worth it. You're totally capable. It's our time to step for our power and to just, be great. We could totally, totally whatever we want, we could do.
You know, and that's all it is. Literally, you are a weekend away from a course, a book, or thing. Whatever you feel I suck at, it's not that you suck at it. It's like we all suck at things that we have never done. How
100%.
foolish it is of me to go, well, I suck at this. Well, have you taken any classes? No. Have you studied it? No. Well, of course you're gonna suck at it. And so accept that. Accept that that we are gonna be bad at things we don't know how to do. But
Yeah.
the best part is we can quickly fix that and improve that,
You're a
right?
weekend away, right? I like that.
You're a weekend away from your best
Uh-huh.
self,
Right,
or
right,
doubling your things. So
right.
Rachel, stay with me. Everybody, again, thank you so much, Rachel. I thank you for your
My pleasure.
time of putting this out, of helping people, of sharing your journey with us. So everybody watching this, here, this is for you. Like we do this. Rachel took out her time twice for me. Sorry, Rachel. For me today, and I took out my time because we just wanted to share this message. So use it, learn from it, but more importantly, apply it. Just pick
Right.
up one skill set, do this, build some confidence, do the work. You know, don't feel like it's gonna be easy. Put in the work. Do the things that you don't want to do to get the things that others will not have. So peace out. Be a bold beauty boss. Be amazing because it pays so well. Did I stop this?